Hello, I wanted to do a vlog today just talking about my me getting a typewriter today, like an old-fashioned typewriter, and how all the events that led up to it, because yeah, I love it. Basically, I'll start with the backstory. Like, I've always liked typewriters, like ever since I was a little kid, like when I was like 3 or 4 years old. We had a typewriter at home. I remember like I'd like write little stories on it, like I remember typing some story about policemen or something. I don't know what it was, but yeah, I remember typing it out on the typewriter. And like, you know, because I grew up in the 80s as a kid, so typewriters were just a thing that was around. But then as computers got better and better, typewriters got phased out. Like, even when I was in year 7, we were still learning on typewriters, like at school, like how to touch type, and we were using the electronic typewriters where you type it in and then you press enter and it'll just like put out the whole line and stuff. So yeah, but typewriters have been phased out, and I've always had like this nostalgic feel for them, and I've always liked the sound of the keys going tuk, 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 tuk. Yeah, and like I even like installed on my MacBook like sounds where when you touch the keys it's similar to the sound of a typewriter. Just the noise of it's nice. And it's kind of been in the back of my mind just for a long time, like kind of would be cool to get a typewriter, but I never really acted upon it. And just yesterday, like I just was thinking to myself about typewriters, and then I looked up an article. Like, you know how you just want to, when you want to buy something, you start googling things. Like, I love typing with typewriters or things like that. And one thing that came up was about this guy who was saying how his typewriter makes him write better or something like that. How that, you know, in the old days when you typed on a typewriter, you really had to think about what you were typing, because it was, once you type it, it's on the page and you have to use whiteout to get rid of it or whatever. But whereas on computers, it's like, so you kind of blasé about things and you get sloppy and you just type, and there'll be autocorrect later on, or thesauruses and things like that, and just things like. And he said that there was an app on the Mac which is called Typewriter actually. And so I downloaded it, and it makes like a little word processing program, but it simulates a typewriter. So there's no backspace. It's like, and I typed this morning when I woke up. I just started using it for a little bit, and I was typing it, and I wrote like maybe a tiny paragraph of my story, like maybe 8 lines or something like that. But it was such a different experience typing it, because it was weird, because as soon as I typed it, I realized I couldn't go back. Like, I couldn't type back, so it was like a totally different experience. It's like playing like a game on hardcore mode, where if your character dies, it's gonna be dead. Like, so it's like makes you play differently. So it's kind of similar to that. Like, I didn't just like type anything. I kind of made sure like I knew what I wanted to happen next. And so it was a really fun experience, and I've made a lot of mistakes, like just spelling errors or typos and stuff. And every time I did it, the typo would just be there permanently, unless I could make the file again, like start the file again. So it was a very interesting experience, and I enjoyed it a lot. And I was thinking to myself, well, I could just do it like that, but then there's a whole other parts of the typewriter experience that I wanted as well, like the fact that you don't have to be plugged into like a power cord. The noise of the keys, the fact that it comes out on a piece of paper that you can look at. All these things combined make this experience that I really wanted to do. And so I started googling on the net about typewriters and stuff, and I came across some on Gumtree, like they were advertising on Gumtree that they were having typewriters. I looked at a few, and then one of them jumped out at me. It was called Olivetti Lettera 32. Okay, so when I looked at that, it was like for $80, and I thought, oh, I'll Google it. I'll see what, you know, if that's a good one. And the very first thing that came up was the fact that this typewriter, the Olivetti Lettera 32, is the same one, or very similar to the one that was used by this author. Now I forget his name. I'm gonna look it up. But he wrote No Country for Old Men, as well as another thing. That movie that I have not seen, but I've heard from my friend, like my friend Cheryl at work. She told me it was a really good movie, and like it's always on the list of the best movies and things like that. I don't know if I can find out where it's written. Cormac McCarthy, okay? So it's based on a novel by Cormac McCarthy, and he's written a lot of novels for like 50 years or so or something like that, and he said he's done it all on this one typewriter. So when I heard that, I got really excited. I was like, he must he must be quite happy with it if he's been typing all this stuff on it. And apparently the story goes he got it for $50 at a pawn shop like ages ago, and he's never had it repaired. He's only ever blown it with like a car air thingo, you know, I don't know. That's the only thing he said. But it kind of finally wore out just recently, and he put it up for auction, and some people bought it for like a lot of money for charity and stuff. So I thought that was so cool. When I heard that, I was like, oh, this is so perfect. And I'll just check what time the ad went up, because I'd love to think that the ad for the thing just went up, but it might be down now, actually, now that I've bought it. I'm trying to keep talking while I type. But yeah, I think it must have been pretty recent, like maybe end of July it went up. It was interesting because I'll get to that later, because it's a whole journey for me to get this typewriter. One day, all in one day. And so after a bit of Googling, I found out that there's a guy who sells typewriters in the city. Like he's basically probably the only, in Melbourne, like the only typewriter store where he like refurbishes typewriters and sells them and things like that. And so, and he lives upstairs, and downstairs is his shop. His shop is in Carlton on Elgin Street. And so you give him a call, and then he'll meet you downstairs. And so I went there today, I went there today, and it was really fun getting there. And then it was so nice getting in there. Like he showed me like some basic typewriter, like the Royal, and he was selling it for $150. And it was, when I typed on it, it was so nice. Because I remember when I was a kid, my typewriter, I remember having to push hard for all the keys and my fingers getting tired, but maybe because I was tiny, I don't know, but typing on these was like, it's so easy. It was really nice, and made that nice noise as well. So there was the Royal, and then the guy showed me another one. He goes, there's another one like that. So, and it was the Olivetti Lettera 32. And I was like, whoa, that looks so nice. And he said, oh, that one's 180. And I was like, oh. And like, I was just there, and I was so close to buying it, but then but it's funny because the timing was incredible. Before I went into the shop, I got a message back from the person selling the one on Gumtree, saying that, oh yeah, they'll be here in the afternoon, like. And I was like, oh. So I didn't want to leave this person hanging that was on Gumtree, like he was all kind of getting ready to like give it away, sell it. So I was thinking, oh, so instead of buying it at the store, I was like, oh, you know, I told him like there's an ad for one on Gumtree that I might buy, and if it doesn't work, or maybe I can come back and you can service it, because he does servicing and new ribbons for like $95, to make everything work and stuff. So I told him that, and he was like fine with it, and it was really nice. I could just tell that he loves typewriters. Just could tell. It was a good feel, and he showed me how to use it as well, like, you know, like the settings and like things on the machine. So then I left that place. I went back to Clayton, where the person was selling this one was, and it was so cool. They were the most awesome people. Like, it was one guy, I don't know how old he was, but maybe in his mid-20s, and his girlfriend was there as well. And he just showed it, and it was love at first sight when I saw this typewriter. Like, it was in its like nice little blue case, and yeah, it was so cool. As soon as I saw it, I'll bring it out. This is it. Oh, see this? I'm not gonna drop it. I hope I don't drop it. There's the case. I would be very sad if I dropped it. So, unzip the case. So maybe I'll just move the camera. Whoa. There it is. Can you see it? How cool is that? Nice. It was love at first sight when I saw it. And it was so cool. Wait, that's the thing. Isn't it nice? This is the Olivetti Lettera 32. So cool, I like it. Okay, so you saw it. And yeah, and the guy who, because when I was going to this place, I was thinking, is it this person knows anything about typewriter, or was it just like something that was sitting in the garage and now he's just trying to get rid of it? But no, this guy, he was like into typewriters. He actually has his own typewriter. Like he got one from Savers. It's like a bit newer, but yeah, and he knows about typewriters, and this one didn't have any ribbon in it at the time, but I asked him, oh, so it doesn't have any ribbon in it? And he's like, oh, I'll put one in for you. So he went and got a new ribbon for me and then installed it. He put it in everything, and I actually videoed him doing it so I would remember what it was like next time I had to do it, which hopefully won't be for a while. But yeah, he was really into it, and his girlfriend was really into it. I like typewriters as well, because yeah, and she says she's written some poems up on it, and she loves how just it's there straight away when you've typed it. But I just got such a great vibe from these two people. Like, oh, I'm so happy I bought it off them. It just feels good. I feel like you know, like in like, let's say Harry Potter, where you get a wand and you really bond with the wand. Like, I feel really bonded to this typewriter. Hopefully, you know, yeah, I'm really bonded with it. So it's cool. Like, yeah, so cool. Like, I'm really excited. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, I really enjoyed the experience of going to get it and everything. Like, I'm looking forward to like just typing away on it and writing my story on it, which like I've been writing, but for the last 6 months or so I just have not written anything. I've been kind of busy doing like learning drawing and playing the flute and stuff, so I haven't really set aside any time to write. But I think with this kind of thing it might make me write more, because it's just so fun. Well, I find it very fun just to type, and the feedback of the noise and the fact that it's right there in front of you as well. I mean, I've done this stuff in the past though before, like where I've just like bought things like a fountain pen or things like that, hoping that that would make me enjoy writing. I mean, I already enjoy writing, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it'll be like a thing to write with, but I don't know. But I like the idea of this typewriter thing. I read a quote today from Ernest Hemingway. Basically, he goes, writing is easy. All you have to do is sit in front of a typewriter and bleed, or something like that. I don't know what that means. I think that means just kind of stare and just kind of, I don't know. But it sounds cool. I like it. So I like the fact that now in this age, if you're using a typewriter, it's because you want to use a typewriter and you really love it. And apparently there's a resurgence. I was watching some videos this morning and reading articles where there's kind of resurgence of people, a small group of people who just love typewriters and love writing on typewriters, and when their typewriter breaks they get really sad and everything like that. So maybe I'll become one of those people. I don't know. I'm looking forward to using it. So I think that's it for the video. So yeah, I had a fun time. So happy with it.